This book offers a comprehensive and nuanced account of the development of philosophy in the Islamic world, challenging the widespread assumption that Islamic philosophy is merely a medieval or purely religious phenomenon. Rather than restricting philosophy to the tradition of falsafa or to Muslim thinker alone, the author deliberately adopts the broader terms philosophy in the Islamic world to reflect the rich intellectual activity that took place across diverse religious, linguistics, and cultural contexts. Muslims, Christians, and Jews alike participate in philosophical inquiry using language such as Arabic, Syriac, Hebrew, and Persian. The text traces the emergence of philosophy from the early theological debates of Kalam through the Great Arabic translation movement and into later developments involving Sufism, Avicennism, Illuminationism, and philosophical theology. By situating philosophy within its historical, political, and religious environments, the book shows how philosophical reasoning was deeply intertwined with revelation, law, mysticism, and science. This approach allows a reader to see philosophy in the Islamic world not as a borrowed or declining tradition, but as a dynamic and involving intellectual enterprise that continue well beyond the medieval period and into modern times.
A very short introduction, this book is written by Peter Adamson and published by Oxford University Press in Oxford, United Kingdom. The first edition of this book was published in 2016. It consists of 6 chapters beginning from pages 1 and ending on pages 133, including the index, and it was printed and around by CPI Group United Kingdom Ltd Trader. Overall, this book provides a concise and clear introduction to the development of philosophy in the Islamic world. It highlights key philosophical ideas, major thinkers, and the intellectual contribution of Muslim scholars to philosophy. In conclusion, this book is very useful as an introductory reference for students who want to understand Islamic philosophy in a simple, structured, and accessible way.
Today, we want to share a quick review of the book Philosophy in the Islamic World.
We will focus on 5 key ideas that we found particularly interesting. The first idea I got from the book is about the spread of Islam and its historical context. Islam spreads very quickly after its rise from the Iberian Peninsula in the west to the border of India and China in the east. This shows not just political influence but also broad cultural and intellectual impact. Today, many of these regions still have large Muslim communities, like Indonesia, which has the largest Muslim population, and India, which ranks second in the world. Contrary to popular belief, philosophy in the Islamic world did not disappear after the medieval period. It continued to develop, even it has sometimes received less attention compared to Europe philosophy.
Another key factor was the translation of Greek works into Arabic via Syriac. Scholars, mostly Christian, translated Aristotle, Plotinus, and Proclus, bringing logic, metaphysics, and science to the Islamic world. Al-Kindi, the first Islamic philosopher, led a group of translators and worked to align Greek ideas with Islamic teachings, especially about God's unity and the created universe. He also combined mathematics, music, ethics, and practical science, forming the Kindian tradition. This shows that Islamic philosophy adapted and enriched Greek thought, laying the foundation for later thinkers like Al-Farabi.
The third important idea I gained from this book is that philosophy in the Islamic world did not disappear. Even during time of crises such as the Mongol invasion, despite widespread destruction, philosophical and scientific activities survived and were even supported by rulers like Hulagu and Ulugh. They show that intellectual tradition in Islamic were resilient and capable of adapting to difficult historical circumstances. The fourth idea I learned is the gradual fusion between philosophy and kalam. Instead of philosophy replacing theology, kalam became a medium through which philosophical ideas, especially those of Avicenna, were transmitted. Thinkers such as Al-Tafzani and Al-Aiji produced work that blended rational philosophy with theological discussion, and this text continued to be studied in madrasas for centuries. The last idea I gained concerned the debate about reason and revelation, while philosophers like Al-Farabi and Everest believed that human reason and logical demonstration could lead to certainty.
Scholars such as Al-Ghazali and Ibn Taymiyyah argued that reason has limit and must be guided by revelation. This discussion highlights that Islamic intellectual history was not anti-reason, but deeply engaged in defining the proper role of reason in understanding religious truth.
In my opinion, Philosophy in the Islamic World by Peter Adamson is a clear and well-organized introduction to the development of philosophy within Islamic civilization. The book effectively explains complex philosophical ideas in a simple and accessible way, making it suitable for readers who are new to the subject. I particularly appreciate how the author corrects the misconception that philosophy is incompatible with Islam by showing how Muslim philosophers engaged critically with Greek thought and integrated it with Islamic teachings.
Well, this book is valuable because it highlights the originality and intellectual depth of Islamic philosophy rather than presenting it as a mere imitation of Greek ideas. Although some discussions are brief due to the nature of a very short introduction, the book succeeds in providing a strong foundation and encouraging further study. I believe it is an excellent starting point for students who want to understand the role of reason and philosophy in the Islamic world.
In conclusion, the book successfully redefines how philosophy in the Islamic world should be understood and studied. It demonstrates that philosophy did not disappear after figures such as Everest, nor was it confined to a narrow Aristotelian tradition. Instead, philosophical inquiry continued through kalam, Sufism, logic, and scientific discipline, often absorbing and transforming efficient ideas in creative way. Thinkers such as Al-Ghazali, Suhrawardi, Fakhr al-Din al-Razi, Ibn Khaldun, and Mullah Sadra illustrate the diversity and vitality of philosophical thought across different religions and countries. Moreover, the book highlights the enduring tension and productive interaction between reason and revelation. Rather than presenting this relationship as a simple conflict between faith and rationality, the author showed that Islamic intellectual develops multiple models for integrating the two. By extending the narrative into the modern period and engaging with responses to Arabian philosophy, the book reinforces its central claim: philosophy in the Islamic world is a living tradition marked by continuity, adaptation, and intellectual pluralism. As such, the work makes a valuable contribution to the study of philosophy and offers a deeper appreciation of Islamic world's philosophical heritage.